The internet was down. Because of a massive catastrophic Cloudflare outage, more than half of the internet's essential services were completely unavailable yesterday. But here is the interesting part. During this entire global outage, the internet computer has been up and running perfectly without a single second of downtime ever since its launch back in 2021. The heavy reliance of our legacy internet infrastructure on centralized services like Cloudflare proves once again that the original ICP thesis is 100% correct. It proves that the world is inevitably moving toward decentralized infrastructure because the current model is simply unsustainable. In this video, we'll explore this disaster further, and we are also going to talk about some massive internet computer news that has flown under the radar for a few months now. I'm talking about a specific project that a developer is currently working on, which is building the infrastructure to onboard the absolute largest legacy website builder to the internet computer. And of course, I'm talking about WordPress. For context, WordPress is currently the engine behind more than 60% of all websites on the entire internet. On top of that, the ICP price has been pumping a little recently while the volume has gone up and holders are currently ecstatic. But the real question remains, is this pump sustained or will the price retrace back down in a couple of days? Let's find out. Before we go on with the video, I have a quick announcement to make. I just made my Telegram group public. So whether you're interested in connecting, view my data charts and analysis ahead of time, or just to share ICP news with other people, make sure to join. It only takes like 3 seconds, link in the description. Now back to the video. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Cloudflare is a massive internet company that provides critical backbone services such as DNS, cybersecurity, DDoS mitigation, and a plethora of other services. And yesterday, it was down for almost the entire day. According to a recent NBC article, many popular internet destinations appeared to be suffering from service issues Tuesday morning after a major web infrastructure company said it was dealing with an internal service degradation. Several major internet services appeared to have been affected by the Cloudflare issue, including those from X, Spotify, OpenAI, and Amazon Web Services, according to downdetector.com, a website that tracks service outages based on user reports. Imagine that Amazon Web Services, which is already a massive monopoly that offers hosting and computation services, is also down simply because of a Cloudflare outage. This proves just how fragile the whole legacy internet really is. It's a massive house of cards that is constantly on the verge of collapse. This outage comes only a couple of weeks after another major event where the internet went down, although this time it seems things are significantly worse. What you should understand from this massive event is that whether it happens organically or not, the world is being set up for the inevitable adoption of decentralized cloud infrastructure. The current system is breaking and the internet computer lies at the very core of the solution. Now, let's move on to something massive. WordPress is soon coming to ICP. This piece of news has been flying under the radar for a while now, but there is a dedicated team building Wasp. Wasp is a critical piece of infrastructure that will finally allow PHP and WebAssembly to run together seamlessly. This means that platforms like WordPress, which is entirely PHP based, will finally be able to run natively on the internet computer. As I said in the beginning of the video, WordPress powers more than 60% of all the websites on the internet. I have personally used WordPress countless times to build different websites over the years, so I'm really excited to see this finally happen. And to be clear, I'm not talking just about basic WordPress functionality, I'm talking about full plugin support, which is absolutely amazing for developers and creators. There's been a significant update on this project posted on the Dfinity forums, which says, I'm still working on integrating Laravel and WordPress. The goal is to have Laravel running over the next few weeks as planned, and WordPress should be easier to finalize afterward. Right now, I'm focused on the autoloader, which is the last missing piece to get Laravel loading correctly. On the SQL side, I've made solid progress by adding transactions and multi-user support. Regarding open source, my long-term vision has always involved creating a DAO, and I'm still considering that path. For example, a DAO focused on WordPress, Laravel, and PHP hosting. I've also started evaluating hosting costs based directly on cycle usage. With the help of ChatGPT, I ran some calculations and assumptions showing how implementing caching can significantly reduce costs. As soon as I have Laravel fully running, I'll come back with another update. When looking at the estimated costs without caching, running WordPress on ICP appears to be roughly the same as Web 2 in terms of pure hosting. However, the major difference is that with Web 2, you also need to invest in extra stuff like Cloudflare, advanced security suites, and other shenanigans to keep your site safe. These extras usually pump the total price to maintain a website by a lot. So even at the base level, we might actually actually see it being a bit cheaper to run on the internet computer, but here's the part that absolutely blows my mind. If you look at the price with caching enabled, that brings the cost of hosting down 90% lower than everything else currently available. That is a complete game changer. He also mentioned the creation of a DAO for hosting. We will need to wait for further updates on exactly how that will work, whether it will be an SNS or some other type of DAO structure, but nonetheless, this project really excites me. Since I have extensive experience with WordPress, once this goes live, I will definitely try it out, build a full website on-chain and do a video showcasing it. You might be wondering, why is this needed since we already have Caffeine, which can build pretty much anything using AI? That's true, but you need to consider that there are millions of people who are already deeply familiar with WordPress. They have been using it for years, they know its ins and outs, and they rely on its ecosystem. It is always better to have more options to onboard different types of users. In terms of price and data, we've seen ICP pumping slightly a couple of days back, and it's been cooling off a bit since then. However, the volume has been going up for 3 days in a row, which is a very good thing to see, and it's a trend we want to see maintained. There was a very bullish post from Torvex that breaks this down perfectly. ICP is positioning for a massive run. Active addresses, dev activity, and liquidity flows are signaling accumulation. Data, network usage, and market structure all point to a breakout. Daily active addresses are up 35% month over month, with transaction volume hitting 18-month highs. Smart contract calls are rising steadily, meaning real usage is finally picking up. GitHub commits are up 42% over the past month, with multiple new applications launching. Growing developer activity means stronger protocol fundamentals and adoption-driven price support. ICP balances on major exchanges are down 22% in 30 days. Whales are stacking and holding. Institutional and retail capital is moving from underperforming L1s into projects with active ecosystems. ICP's narrative, adoption, and undervaluation versus peers make it a prime candidate. Funding rates are near zero, open interest is moderate, and there are no forced liquidations. Spot accumulation without leverage means clean upward impulse potential. All indicators, on-chain, dev activity, liquidity, chart structure signal that ICP is ready for a multi-leg move. If this setup triggers, the next leg could be explosive and largely unnoticed until it happens. Before we move on, I want to show you some more interesting charts I started to create using on-chain data, combined with data from services like Lunar Crush. Internet identity numbers are growing steadily. We can see that in the past 30 days alone, there have been more than 16,000 new identities created, with a huge spike occurring during that insane pump we had around the 9th. Yesterday, there was another significant spike of new identities created, which means that the ICP price action has once again attracted some fresh eyes to the ecosystem. The chart showing ICP price versus social noise is another favorite of mine because it shows us exactly how the price behaves compared to the volume of aggregated social media posts. And as you can see, yesterday there was a massive spike in social noise, yet the price went down a little. One thing that's easy to observe is that these two metrics are usually directly correlated, and right now there's a clear divergence between the two. I'm expecting to see them start following each other again during the next few days. As you can see, the number of locked ICP is growing at a steady rate, and it doesn't care about the price at all. The price is fluctuating, which is pretty normal for crypto, but the amount of locked ICP is growing at an unfazed constant rate, showing long-term conviction. If you want to keep an eye on this metric yourself, make sure to join my Telegram group, where I will post all of these charts and others which I'm currently working on. And if you are not yet following me on X, go ahead and do so, because I post daily ICP related content you might be interested in. Link in the description.